Well, as far as I'm concerned, you just ran out of excuses not to have a college degree. Watch this interview. I think it's probably the best interview I've done. I've been doing this for about 2 years now. I must have 500 or 600 interviews already with specialists all over the world, actually. And this is a fellow who started something, the University of the People. It's a tuition-free online university. The guy has a heart of gold. He had an online university for profit in Liverpool for many years, did very well financially. And now he wants to make sure everyone gets a college degree. And he just got accredited. You go online and you see about these college courses you could take online or whatever. You're either going to spend $40,000 or it's free and you don't get any credit. Well, here these classes are very small, 30 people, 20, 30 people like that in a class. Get individualized attention. There's the people involved with this project are very prestigious. The UN, United Nations, is involved in this class project. People from Oxford University, New York University, Indiana Institute of Technology, even the Department of Education. And it's a chance to get a degree, either an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree in business, general business, or computer science. Now, what's neat too, they're hooked up with large corporations to get you internships, jobs, and all kinds of help. I mean, it's just phenomenal. I just can't think of anything probably more important going on, in our universe right now than this. Somebody who found a way to give people an education, because you can't get there, where you want to go without it anymore. And it's so important. So this is free. Actually, the only cost is you have to pay $100 to take the exam. And then there's scholarships for that too. So it's like I said, you ran out of excuses not to get a college degree. It's flexible. You could do it on your own time. That's what's so neat. It's free and it's legitimate. Man, most of these universities out there that are charging outrageous fees or are making you take student loans that, man, you'll never get out of debt. It's just silly. This is free. So there's nothing more important going on. And if you don't want a college degree, learn about this so you can tell other people about this. They're just starting. The New York Times just wrote it up about their accreditation. This is an important thing that's happening. You've heard about online courses, everybody's selling them, but you haven't heard about legitimate ones for free. So watch this. Well, Shai Reshef, and I believe, Shai, that you just have the most important concept that we have in the world today, for the developed world, underdeveloped world, or whatever. I mean, education is so important. I believe in it. I think if there's anything you should spend money on, it's education. And that's the problem. People in this country have to spend too much bloody money for education and can't get it. And you came up with a free university. I mean, that's not only flexible and free, but legitimate. I mean, so many people out there without, the yucky stuff saying it's free, but you have the UN involved, you have, presidents of the biggest universities and educational institutions they're helping you guide your way through this because it's so important. I honor you for doing this, and what's in your heart that made you do this and help so many people?
Well, thank you. I spent 20 years in for-profit education. And among other things, I started the first online university outside of the US in Europe.
Wow.
We delivered the University of Liverpool online degrees. And that's where I learned, and it was for-profit at the time. And that's where I learned how powerful online learning can be. We had students from all over the world. They stayed at home, kept their job, but at the same time, got this great education. So it was a great success. But I also realized that for most people, it was nothing but a wishful thinking. It was too expensive.
Ah, And
So,
what is the price normally on an online course nowadays like that?
well, $30,000, $40,000.
Really? So online it's still 30,
Yeah,
40,000.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I ended up selling that university and the rest of my business to go into semi-retirement,
Ah,
just to realize that it's not really for me and that I want to continue. But it was also clear to me that I don't want to do more of the same. I felt, I have enough. I'm fortunate. It's my turn now to give back.
yeah.
And for me to give back, it must be in a way that will have an impact on the world. And how can you make an impact on the world? Clearly through education. Because when you think about it, when you educate one person, you can change a life. But when you educate many, you can change the world. So I looked around and I realized that everything that made higher education so expensive, was already available and for free. Open source technology, which is technology that anyone can use for free. Open educational resources, which is content that professors produce and put on the internet for the rest of the world to use for free. And the new internet culture of social networking, where people share, teach, and learn from each other for free. So I said, wait a second, all I need to do is to put it together and create a tuition-free university. So that's what I did. So University of the People is the first non-profit, tuition-free, accredited online university dedicated for qualified students who graduate high school but cannot afford going to college. And there are millions and millions of them around the world that cannot afford education either because of the price, and we know how insane the price here in the US of higher education. There are many places in the world that there aren't enough seats in the local universities. People take placement exam, either they're in or they're out. If they're out, it doesn't mean that they're not qualified. It just means that there is no seat for them. There are people who are deprived from higher education for cultural reasons, women in Africa as an example, and or political reasons, refugees. So we said there weren't a better reason for the invention of the internet than bringing the education to them. So that's what we do. We only teach business administration and computer science at this point. And because these are the two degrees that are likeliest to help them find a job and are likeliest to help their economies to get better. We teach the students in small classrooms, 20 to 30 students, to
I see.
ensure that
So
they
it's
get.
not a everybody, millions of people online or something. It's like the size of a normal class.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the idea is that the kind of students that come to us, many of them come through hardship. Many of them didn't have previous experience in higher education. And if you want them to succeed, you really need to give them personalized attention. So we put them in classes of 20 to 30 students under the supervision of volunteer professors. So we can scale up, and we are going to scale up because our goal is to educate everyone. But we want to make sure that while we're doing that, we give the people the attention that they need to get.
So then you're so much different than like a MOOC who has a million people in the class, right? The
Well,
MOOC.
they have millions of people in the class, but they have about the same number of graduates as we do. No, I'm just kidding,
No,
obviously.
I think you're probably right.
I, I think that the MOOC is a great thing because
Yeah,
it's
like
spread the
right.
knowledge everywhere. But the main difference between us and the MOOC is that we feel, the MOOC students, 80% of them are people with academic background, people with bachelor, master, or PhD. And even though only 5% of them complete each
Wow,
course.
right.
Now, we feel that if you take our students and put them in this situation, they have no way to succeed. And our students do not need to complete one course, they need to complete 40 courses to get a PhD. So we give them the support that they need in order to complete, in order to succeed, and we take them all the way from where they're coming until they get their degree. So it's a different setting.
But more importantly, then afterwards, I mean, you're already involved with people like Microsoft and HP, Hewlett Packard, and that have jobs and internships for people that you're graduating.
Right. Because what we should mention is that we are tuition free, but we are not free. We ask the student, they take the course for free. By the end of the exam or the course, we tell them, listen, the exam cost $100
Yeah.
per exam. We expect you to pay for it. If you don't, the students don't have the money, we'll give you scholarship. Because it is our
Ah,
mission that nobody would be left behind for financial reason. So HP created scholarship for women, Western Union from students from certain countries, and actually Microsoft started partnership with us to select 1,000 students in Africa. Those that are being selected are getting access to Microsoft certificate program, so to prepare them for the job market. While they study with us, they are being mentored by Microsoft employees, get internship with Microsoft and job opportunities upon graduation. So actually, it's taking the students all the way until employment, and we love it, and we are trying now. We're working very hard to replicate it
yeah.
because that's the very model that we would
Oh,
like to have.
that's so they're getting Microsoft certified also through the course. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. They are eligible to go through Microsoft certificate program to get certificates. So it's not only the academic education, but also the practical knowledge that they need
Right.
to get as well.
Well, that's I think now there's also you have associate's degrees also.
We have associate and bachelor degree. And actually, we are now, when students sign up, we push them to start with the associate for two
Yeah.
reasons. First of all, in some places, associate is good enough.
Right.
But more than that, we want the goal
Yeah.
to be closer to them. And we tell them, listen, take it to your program, get your associate. Believe us, the second you get the associate, we'll try to convince you to continue toward the bachelor. But if you don't, at least you end up with associate and not with nothing. So yeah.
Right, nothing. No, that's beautiful. And so it's online. I guess the beauty of what you have small classes, so everyone's getting individualized attention. But you're getting like famous professors to teach for you for free, it seems. How do you do this?
Yeah, we have,
Do you have
I think
photos
that,
of their family or something that you?
what? Sorry?
I said, do you have nasty photos of all these people that you're going to show if they don't work for you or something?
They, I think that everyone realized that the price of higher education is too high, and something should be done to cut the cost down. And actually, we are showing that it can be done, and we're building a model,
But
and
this
we're
is more
building a
than cutting
model,
the
or actually
cost.
running a model that show how it can be done. So they want to support us, they want to succeed. So we created, for example, a council of presidents that's chaired by John Sexton from NYU, include a vice chancellor of Oxford, the president of George Washington University, the chancellor of Berkeley, and I can go on and on. Our provost is from Columbia, our deans are from NYU, and these people are our academic leadership. And they do all the work. And yeah, you can see their photos and their quotes on our website. And they're there because they believe in the mission and they want us to succeed. And I have to say that part of our success stems from their support. So yeah, it's a win-win.
You are, to me, you're doing God's work here, and the poor people out there who get bombarded by these for-profit universities to give them $40,000, and they have to go borrow the money to do it, is dreadful. And you have a wonderful opportunity for people, and not only for the average person who needs the education, but to show the damn education system what can be done.
Yeah. And, as you said, we're building a model. We want to show, first of all, to universities that they can actually add zero to their numbers. Instead of 20,000 students, they can have 200,000. If we can do it, they can do it.
Exactly. They should be smart enough.
And the same is for countries, developing countries which have a few millions, they build a Harvard. If inviting
Well,
me.
Shai, thank you so much. We're getting connection problems, and we better wrap up so we don't lose this wonderful information for people.
Thank you.
The world thanks you from my part and from my heart about what you're doing. It's just great. Before I get emotional, I better say goodbye.
Thank you, and thank you for helping us spread the word.
I will continue to do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye bye.